Hi guys, I'd like to welcome you guys all back to my channel, and today I am here with my July wrap up, August TBR. Real quick, if you haven't subscribed, would really love it if you just subscribe, hit the notification button, all that jazz. But first I want to say that I know I just posted a TBR on Tuesday, but that is specifically for BookTubeathon, so that's only for the 7 days. I'll leave a link up here for the BookTube TBR, and I'll also leave a link down below to it and the original BookTubeathon announcement for it. If you guys are participating, I'd love to know how many books have you read so far. Hopefully by today I would have read 2. I don't know how that's gonna work, but let's just pray that I'm actually accomplishing this mission. So today I want to first start off by saying my July reads were kind of disappointing, not really in the fact that I only read 3 books, well 3.5, but that I was kind of bored with what I was reading, so I kind of didn't feel like reading. So let's just jump right into this. The first book that I read was Neverworld Wake by Marisha Pessl, and I'm giving this book a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Honestly, so the premise of this book is that it's one girl and her, I think it's 4 or 5 friends. And they used to be really, really close in high school, but her boyfriend, who was also part of the group, died. And when he died, she disconnected from everybody, but she always felt like they knew what happened to him. So she goes to confront them, and they end up going out to party. And long story short, some stuff happens, and they end up in what is called the Neverworld Wake. Basically, it is a middle ground between life and death, and in order for them to get out of the Neverworld Wake, they have to vote for one person to live, and once they vote for the other person to live, everyone else dies. So that's the premise of this book, and honestly, the premise was really good. I felt like there was a lot of things to keep me reading in the story, but I didn't actually start being very interested in the story until I think around part 3. So part 1 and 2 were kind of just boring to me. I had to force myself to read a chapter a day at one point because it was really boring to me, but I didn't want to DNF it, so I had to keep trying to read it. The ending was confusing. In my head, I knew exactly who they were saving from the very beginning, but the reasons why they saved her didn't make any sense to me at all, because it was almost confusing. It's hard to explain without giving away spoilers, but I'm just going to say I was personally confused at the end of the book when, everything starts getting revealed and everything starts making more sense. I was actually left more confused because I don't think the person that survived deserved to survive, if that makes any sense. The next book that I read was Heartless by Melissa Myers. It's like a prequel to Alice in Wonderland by telling the story of the Red Queen and how she became the Red Queen. And I didn't love it like I loved the Lunar Chronicles. I still think that the Lunar Chronicles was a very happy surprise for me, so I kind of hold Melissa Myers on that level. But I don't think that Heartless was terrible. I know that I saw a lot of reviews where they were this is kind of boring, and yes, at times it was boring, but luckily for me, I was reading it via audiobook, so I kind of got past those points, and the transition to her becoming the person that she is in Alice in Wonderland is kind of sad. It's dang, but at the same time, it was okay, in a land where things don't necessarily make sense, I could totally see this as being a prequel. I personally have been on a retelling fairy tale kick, trying to not read all of the retellings that I know of at once, so I've been trying to space myself out. But I think Heartless was okay. I gave it I think I gave it a 3 out of 5 or something like that. I can't remember. It's on my Goodreads. Who actually takes those seriously, Now, this is where things get a little rocky for me in terms of reading. I didn't get to Dreamstrider or Arabella. Hopefully I get to them next month. I'm going to take them back to the library and then recheck them out later. But I started reading The Bird and the Blade right after I finished Neverworld's Wake. And I am still, as of today, which is the 29th, I am only on chapter 13, which is 157, which is like 37% of the way through. I'm bored. I'm so bored. But I told myself that I was not going to DNF another book because I DNF Cersei. And I was like, no, I'm going to read. And this is one of the books that I was anticipating. So I think my expectations for the book were extremely, like, way too high. And because of that, like, I'm kind of disappointed. Like, these people have been in the desert, slowly traveling, having these super boring conversations for like it's 13 chapters in. So about 10 chapters in, they are still in the desert. They are still having these boring conversations. Nothing as far as plot is concerned has picked up. Nothing as far as plot is concerned has fully explained anything that references this title. They keep referencing the same things over and over and over. And I'm like, just pick one so that I can know what's going on, because I want to finish this book, but I'm so bored. Like, I force myself lately, like I'm going to force myself to read at least 5 or 6 chapters today, and maybe the book will pick up. Maybe I might actually finish this book before Booktubeathon, because I'm putting this down once Booktubeathon starts, and I'll just pick it back up some other time during the month because I am bored. To pass the time at work, I listen to a lot of audiobooks, as I've said, and I just really... my August theme for my bullet journal, if you guys haven't seen it, I'll link it up there and down below. It is Ravenclaw. So I've been on this Harry Potter thing, so I figure I'm going to read the books because I've just been in the mood to read them. So I did finish Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, and I must say, like, I like listening to I've never listened to the audiobook of it before, and I liked it. I mean, the accents, for one, definitely sound better on audiobook than the accents that I do in my head. So I think that might be like a factor, but you know, it was still cool. So I technically only read 3 books because I still haven't finished reading the 4th book yet. I feel like September is going to be a pretty slow reading month because I'm traveling, but I feel like August, like my goal for August is to read at least 10 books this month, and hopefully 7 of those is from Booktubeathon. So with that being said, let's talk about my August TBR. While going through my TBR, I was looking for short books to read for Booktubeathon, but I forgot that my friend, my lovely friend, bought me this book for my birthday called This Bridge Called My Back, Writings by Radical Women of Color. Now, I've never heard of it. Even now, reading through it, I'm so excited. I think it's just like poems or short stories by various women. This book will definitely be annotated. I don't annotate a lot, but these kind of books deserve annotations. So I do plan on reading this when Booktubeathon is over. On July 31st, Sea Witch by Sarah Henning was released, and I am not even going to wait for the library on this particular book. I'm actually going to go buy this book. This book again, I keep telling us, I really like retellings and all of that kind of stuff of fairy tales, and the cover on it is really pretty, so that gives me a justification to buy it. And that'll be like, I think that's the only book. Oh no, I lied. I might buy These Rebel Waves is another book that I'm gonna buy, because both of those books I really want to read, but when I check my library, it shows that they are on order, but it doesn't show a date that they're actually going to arrive to the library. And there's already a waiting list for both of those books. And I think it's like 8 or 9 people deep. So that means I'm not going to get the book in for like a couple months, because you can check them out up to 4 weeks at a time. So I'm just going to buy both of those books. But yes, Sea Witch and These Rebel Waves are both on my TBR for August. One's a pirate themes kind of book, and the other one is a retelling of Ursula from the Hans Christian Andersen standpoint, so not Disney, which is totally fine, because I did also find some Disney books that I will be reading sometime before the end of this year. So again, I only have a goal of reading 10 books this month, so to get it to a full 10, just in case I don't get all 7 for the Booktubeathon, which I'm still gonna, everything from my Booktubeathon TBR falls into the August TBR as well. So I didn't want to repeat them all over again. Again, I'll just leave the link to that. It's a quick 5-minute video. But the last book that I'm finally going to read, because it is available as an audiobook on Hoopla, is Caravelle, which is great because I just have not... Reading lately has just been hard. It's just been a lot easier for me to do audiobooks. And then on the weekends, I've, comfortably sat on my couch back there and put on some Steven Universe music because, let's be real, they could make a complete instrumental to Steven Universe and I would buy it because the music is dope. But yes, so I'm finally going to read this. I think I've explained this 3 times. Lord knows if this ends up back on my TBR this year, y'all can whoop me because it's time for this bad boy to get read so I can finally get the second book because I have this one in hardcover. So I want to get the second book in hardcover before they make it paperback, and B, before they change the covers, which annoys me when they do that. Like, don't change the covers before you release all the books because obviously I want my covers to match, which is what I have to do for the Rebel in the Sands trilogy. I have to buy like the whole new set, and then I'm going to donate the first Rebel in the Sands to the library because I want mine to match. I'm that kind of person. So guys, that's it. Thank you guys so much for checking out my channel. Don't worry, they will not all be book related videos this month. I have 2 makeup videos. I'm gonna do a hair video for you guys. So we're getting an eclectic sort for this month, but I had to show you guys the books that I want to read because it's the books I want to read. So thank you guys so much for checking out my channel, and until the next time guys, bye.